Okay, so I promised you guys last time I would move my camera so the steering wheel wouldn't be in the way, but I tried to do that and the camera was so in my field of vision while driving that it felt unsafe. So I tried to like lower my steering wheel so I could actually talk to you guys for a few minutes before I leave here. But today's the day I'm gonna go back and see Stacey. I'm gonna hopefully answer some of your questions from the lip filler Q&A, and I'm also going to get some preventive Botox in my forehead. Something I have noticed just because I film myself daily is that my area between my brows has gotten kind of harsh, the little line right here, and so I thought maybe it was bone structure. You know, like as you get older things change, facial structure changes and everything like that, but Stacey said that there may be a way to relax the muscle a little bit and that it might be more muscular than it is bone structure. So I will talk to her about that before obviously getting anything injected, but mainly I'm trying to get rid of wrinkles on my forehead before they really occur. I don't have really bad wrinkles, but I figured I keep seeing all of these girls who get Botox who have like such a nice shiny, like hydrated looking forehead, and mine does not look like that. Like, I have dry skin, my forehead is very much a desert, and I am starting to get those fine lines from like this motion, like raising the brows. So the only thing I care about is making sure that like my brows don't go like lower or like too high, because I don't want to change like the way I look too much. So we're gonna go minimal and we're gonna hope that not too much changes. Hopefully I don't regret this decision. That's what I worry about when I get things done, but like, I don't know, we'll see. I will talk to Stacey about that. But you guys, I had like a fucked up morning. Let me turn my blower down. It's really hot for some reason. We have like a couple hot days left in November and then we're gonna go full-blown winter, so I'm trying not to complain, but I'm sweating. But I woke up this morning and I reviewed some footage that I had for the vlog. It may or may not be in the beginning of this video. If you saw me work out, then it is. If you didn't, then it's not. I have been doing like a Pilates class. I've been changing up my workouts a little bit, and I saw myself in the footage because I had to free up this camera for today's vlog. And it just, I don't know if it's body dysmorphia or if I really am just like letting myself go, kind of. Like, I feel so gross about the way I looked. I was looking at that footage and I was like, that's not even me. Like, I don't know. So today I'm like chugging water. I'm debating going on like a more structured diet, but I think like being limited with how much cardio I can do has really changed my body, because I'm so used to doing so much cardio. I don't even have access to a treadmill to where I can walk on an incline unless I want to join a gym and wear a mask in the gym and have it be a half an hour away from my house, because my gym's not open. We still have not gone back. I can't go in there in secret. We all got kicked out. So I would have to do Planet Fitness, and Planet Fitness is about a half an hour away from where I live. But yeah, that is what happened this morning. So I ended up going on a 1.5 mile walk to try to make myself feel better, and it didn't really make me feel better. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm hoping that this appointment kind of gives me a little bit of a mood boost, hopefully. But I don't know, because another thing about me is when I spend money on myself, I feel like kind of sick about it. And so this is going to cost some money, and I'm doing something for myself, so of course I feel sick about it. So I can't win with this brain. I just wanted to let you guys in on that, because I am trying to be very open about my mental health and share my struggles with you guys, to let you know that you're not alone if you're dealing with anything similar, which I know a lot of us are, kind of gaining weight. If you're not during this, then props to you, like, amazing. But a lot of us have put on some poundage during the pandemic, and I try to look at it in a positive light and say, you know, this body is getting me through such a difficult time. If I'm eating some food that's not the best for me because it makes me happy in the moment, then okay, so be it. And I'm trying not to restrict myself too much from the small things that bring me joy. But I have changed my routine a little because we are getting a little out of hand. So I'm actually not going to Dunkin' today. I'm going to try not to go to Starbucks today. And if I do, I'm just going to get like a refresher or something, nothing too sugary. I've been making my coffees at home to try to cut down on the calories and the cost of buying coffee every single day. So that was a lot. That was a rant you just got there, but I'm about to drive to Syracuse Plastic Surgery. That's where I'm gonna get my injections. Okay, so I just pulled into Syracuse Plastic Surgery and I'm super early for my appointment, so I figured I'm gonna go ahead and answer some of the questions on the lip filler that are actually for me. That way Stacey can answer the more tricky questions that I can't answer. So the number one question I got was, why did I get my lips dissolved in the first place? So the answer to that is that I had my lips filled about a year ago with Juvederm. Then I had them filled 6 months later with another type of filler, and the Juvederm actually started to move a little bit and form balls. So I could see balls in my top lip and I wanted them dissolved, so we went ahead and dissolved them, but I still loved obviously having a nice full shape and a nice even shape. So Stacey refilled my top lip with barely any product and we got a nice even smooth look with no balls, no bumps. Another question that I get a lot is, can you tell that there's filler in your lips? Does it feel different? Can your boyfriend tell? And I'm sure it totally depends on what kind of filler you get or like the brand, I guess, but all the fillers that I've tried, Juvederm and Restylane, you really cannot tell. Obviously, when you first get them done, your lips are going to be a little sore, a little puffy, a little stiff, but then once they're fully healed, you cannot tell at all, and nobody else can tell, that's for sure. A lot of people ask me what I use. So the first time I got my lips done was Juvederm, the second time was Restylane Define, and the third time, what I have in my lips now, is Restylane Kiss, which I think has been my favorite so far. I did absolutely love the first time I got lip filler done because it was so transformative, but I think Restylane Kiss for me is the most natural and realistic, both feeling wise and looks wise. Another frequently asked question is, does it hurt? For me, I'm a baby, I really don't like needles, and so yes, it does hurt, but it's not excruciating. I would say on like a pain scale, maybe a 3 or a 4, but like you obviously know that needles are going to be in your lips, so it's not surprising, you know, and depending on how much numbing cream is on, sometimes is better than others. There's also a lot of the times in the filler, there is some numbing agent in the filler already, so the more you're getting injected, the less you're feeling it towards the end. Somebody asked, did you dissolve the old one because it moved to weird places? I wouldn't say it moved to weird places, but it did start to form little lumps in the top lip. So that could have been from the usage of straws, so that motion right there, or it could have been from filling a second time, and I guess Juvederm is more known to move around like that, so it didn't move like into my face, which is another question. I'm gonna let Stacey answer that for you. No, I've never had filler move into my face. And how much is another popular question. How much did it cost? And it definitely varies on where you go, but typically for one syringe it's around $600 to $650, so you do need to be prepared to drop some cash, especially if you are looking to get one syringe or more in the future. No matter what, you have to pay for the full syringe even if you don't use the whole thing. And another question is, how long does it last? How often do you need to touch up? So for me, I still see some shape from the first time I got my filler done, which was about a year ago. So typically your body does dissolve this type of filler naturally with hyaluronic acid. The filler is hyaluronic acid, and your body produces and dissolves that on its own. So your body will get rid of it eventually. It's not permanent. I would say for me, it's kind of dissolved by 8 months. But for other people, it just depends on how fast your body metabolizes that kind of thing. But it can be around 6 months that you would need a touch up. And the last question for me is, how long does the pain last, and was there bruising? The pain only lasts when you're getting it done for me. I mean, the bruising kind of pain later isn't really pain in my mind. It's just like a dull little bit of an ache. As long as you ice it, you're good to go. The bruising depends on your injector, depends on how things go with the filler. I've had a couple times where I've had no bruising at all, and then I've had some bruising with the dissolving, and the last time I got mine filled, there was one little area where we must have hit like a vein or something. That bruise lasted for about a week. So that's it for my portion, and I will let Stacey answer some of the more medical questions when I get in there. Okay, so one question is, are there any long-term negative effects to getting lip filler? So yes, if you
get lip filler too fast, then you can actually stretch the lip tissue too much and it can create pockets.
So too much lip filler too fast.
Too much lip filler too fast. If you use certain fillers that are not meant for the lips, such as some people have used cheek filler in the lip before, which has a higher G prime and it's a thicker filler, that can also stretch the lip tissue, migrate in ways we don't want it to. And then there are other fillers that, you know, I don't like to layer too quickly, too closely, because they can migrate more than others.
Okay, so along the same lines, somebody asked, does the lip injection transfer to other parts of the face, and were you worried that this might happen? So I wasn't worried that that would happen, but...
Right, migration is always a potential, you know, side effect that could happen.
But I think people, like, I know that, like, migration up the lip is normal, but I think people are literally saying, like, can your filler end up in your forehead or your cheek or, like, down here or whatever?
No.
No.
So filler migration is going to happen within a few millimeters of where it was placed, and that can happen anywhere. If you did cheek filler, it can migrate down. If you did, you know, tear trough filler, that can migrate, but it's not going to migrate to other areas.
Yeah.
Filler can go into blood vessels, which is why we use specific techniques and why we always recommend you go to someone who knows anatomy and a trained injector, because if that filler actually does go into a blood vessel, it can occlude it, and because the blood vessel takes it somewhere else.
And that was my, like, number one fear when I first got my lips done, because I have eye problems. But it's like, what is it, like the lowest chance, and you can get it reversed, like if something goes wrong.
Yep, so that's why we use a lot of HA hyaluronic acid fillers. We use certain techniques called retrograde fill. We know the anatomy. We use certain gauge needles depending on where we are, and we use a certain pressure on the plunger so that we minimize all those risks.
Okay. I think that those were the only questions that I couldn't answer myself, so.
Thank you. You're the best.
Okay guys, so I'm in here now waiting for Stacey. We're going to do something called the Hydra needle, which is microdosing. It's a facial with little tiny needles and a little vial that holds your concoction. I've done a similar procedure before, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to talk about some Botox, and I'll let Stacey kind of walk us through that.
Good. Alright, so first we're just cleansing, and this has some chlorhexidine on it, which is just a kind of soap. You already didn't have any makeup on today, so this made this very easy.
Just a little bit of brow filler.
Because we're sticking the skin with a bunch of tiny little needles that are smaller than a hair follicle. We want to make sure it's all clean. And then this is just an alcohol swab.
So is there like a hydrating property in there? Like, do people get
in
this
the
done?
needle?
Yeah.
Yes. So your cocktail can be pretty much catered to what your skin needs are. So I usually, for people who ask me what my recommendations are, I ask them, you know, are you dry? Are you oily? Like, you know, what are your skin concerns? Most people will say they want more moisture, they want fine lines, plumped up, they want to minimize the appearance of pores, and they want an overall glow. Most skin care products, that's what they want. And so this is great because we just use this little vial. We mix everything that you need right in it. So for you, because you do want some moisture, hyaluronic acid fillers bind with water. So this is going to bind with water in your actual skin. So a lot of your skincare products have hyaluronic acid in them to bind so that it sits on top. We're actually putting it in your skin. And that's also what plumps up those fine lines and wrinkles. So it's a very small amount. 0.2 is all we're going to use in yours.
I really need that under... I remember last time we did it under the eyes, and it honestly didn't hurt as much as I thought it would in that soft area.
Yeah.
And that actually helped a lot under there.
So that's the hyaluronic acid. We're using Belotero, which is a nice low G prime hyaluronic acid that just flows very nicely. And then with yours, we're going to use some brightening vitamin C serum.
Okay.
And I usually just put a few drops of that in.
And that helps with like the brightening and unevenness.
Yep.
Okay.
This actually has absorbic acid, vitamins A, E, CoQ10, all things that are great for brightening the skin. Then we are using some of these micro peptides and growth factors. which are great for promoting collagen, elastin production, and healing any problem spots, things like that. And then we are going to use a little bit of lidocaine and a little bit of saline just to mix these up. And we do this before we put the Botox in, because this is a pretty viscous. When I first started doing these procedures, I thought that it was kind of crazy. This is the lidocaine. That the skin was getting so wet, and I thought I was losing a lot of product, but that's normal. A lot of it is penetrating in, and what you'll see will stamp over your skin a couple different times. So these can be shaken pretty vigorously, and you can see it's mixing right up beautifully. Yeah. If you shake Botox though, you can actually harm the molecule. So we leave that till the end. So if you see people mixing Botox, it comes as a powder. They reconstitute it with saline, normal saline, and then once you mix it, you swirl it gently so that you don't ruin it. So this, I just make sure it's all nice and flowing, that there's none stuck in the top or the bottom. And then this is our 10 units of Botox that we're adding in. You ready? So I'm going to start on your forehead, and we're just going to stamp it right along.
Let me just make sure that it's recording.
Sure.
Because that would be my luck. Okay, it is.
Good. How are you doing pain-wise?
Fine. It's just like
annoying.
Yeah, it tricks your mind into thinking like that there's
it's going to be bad.
Yeah. No, it's never bad. It's the forehead is the worst part, but it's not like bad.
I think that's just because the bone is so yeah, the first time I called the manufacturer and I was like, the patient's face is wet. Is any of this going in? Yeah, I literally thought I had done something so wrong. But you can see this distributes over the skin nicely. I feel like this area. And then this is my least favorite area, the lip. So kind of, yep. What do you think?
It's not bad.
Okay, good.
Really, it's the worst on the forehead. Okay. And I think it's because you see how it has like a little dot in the middle?
Yeah.
That plastic piece?
You can feel
My brain is thinking that that's a big needle.
Interesting.
But like the little needles don't hurt at all, but that plastic piece, like.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I noticed it last time too. I'm like, I know it's not a needle, so why is my brain
thinking that it's going to be a bigger poke?
Yeah.
And the downtime on this is minimal because you'll turn pink, you'll feel a little tight later. No makeup today.
Yeah, it was not. I didn't have any downtime last time.
Let's make sure we hit that.
Right, yeah, so it's
Right there, I see it. Goodbye.
Yep.
So you can see the whole vial.
Awesome.
It's on your face now.
Yay.
So I usually do one more stamp after it like soaks for a second.
Okay.
You already look like somewhat glowy, which is crazy because it doesn't work that fast. So in 3 to 5 days, you're going to see your maximum results, and then it should last you 2 to 3 months. Everybody metabolizes a little bit differently.
Now, does the micro needling, like the act of micro needling, do stuff like it makes your skin
collagen?
produce?
Yeah,
right.
Creates mini trauma to the skin, which then causes your body to heal itself. So therefore, creating. That's why we love microneedling for acne scarring, for tightening purposes, and just overall skin health.
Now, do you guys do regular microneedling here too?
Yep. We have microneedling with radio frequency. We're going to be offering the microneedling with PRP soon. We'll have PRP that you can put in these little vials. And then this is considered a type of dermal stamping microneedling device.
That's awesome.
So you're slightly red.
That's
done. We let this soak for 10 minutes.
Okay, so we just finished with the facial, and now I'm going to get some baby Botox in my forehead.
I already went over with Kendall a little bit about how her muscles move. So she has her frontalis muscle, and that moves up, and that elevates everything. And then she's got 3 muscles here, the procerus, and then 2 corrugator muscles that go there. She gets this line right here, so we're going to hit the procerus in 2 different spots.
Yeah.
And then we're only going to treat these deep areas of the corrugator. We're going to leave her tails out since she doesn't have too much movement there, and we want a nice natural look for her. And then when you raise your eyebrows up, we're kind of going to go just gently. And there's different dilutions of Botox. So for Kendall, we're actually hyper diluting the Botox. There's macro Botox, micro Botox, regular dilution Botox. We use a very small needle. Kendall does not like needles, so we're not going to ruminate on that. But we're just going to do a low dose that is a little more dilute than normal, so it diffuses out in a very natural way for her. So first one's going to go right here in the middle. Good, relax, poke. That's it.
Oh my god, it's not bad at all.
Not bad. It's really not that bad, right?
No, not at all. Let me see.
So I'm 27. I want to
The crunch is probably the weirdest.
The noise that I am hearing
Yeah.
from inside my head.
That is the crunch of the needle going through the muscle.
Do you hear it?
Yes. And so, funny story, the first time that happened to me, I thought she went through my skull.
My bone!
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, she just Botoxed my brain. That's how stupid I got. Because I don't like needles either.
I've never heard that noise before. That's
Yeah.
a new one.
And it only happens on the forehead usually. Like, it won't happen around the eyes, won't happen in the masters, but that kind of crunchy. That's it.
Awesome.
You should be smooth and you should be like, oh.
I want a forehead like Stacey. She has a perfect. Look at that. Perfect forehead. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, lovey. Thank you.
Hey guys, so it has been a little over 2 weeks since I got my Botox and my Hydra needle from Stacey, so I wanted to hop on here and give you guys an update and show you my results before we end this vlog. The Botox is insane, you guys. My wrinkles are gone. There is a little bit less movement in my eyebrows. You're gonna get that with Botox, but I literally don't have a single wrinkle on my forehead. So this is me trying to create those wrinkles. You can see that I still have movement in the very tail of my brow, but I have no movement here. But my eyebrows did not droop at all. So my forehead is literally wrinkle free. I have no wrinkles at all. So I have a few updates for you guys. First being that for about a week after the Hydra needle, my face was super glowy, super hydrated, and then I made a personal decision to remain off of birth control for mental health reasons, no other reason. I wanted to see if the hormonal change would help my depression, if you can call it depression, just my mood in general. So unfortunately with that, I do have a couple hormonal breakouts, and I know they're hormonal because whenever I make this decision to get off of the pill, I get the same weird cheekbone breakouts. So I have some kind of along my cheekbone, and I do think that's hormonal. But other than the hormonal breakouts, which are kind of deep, my skin is feeling very hydrated, very smooth. This is the time of year where I usually am dry as a desert, and so far we are holding that off. But absolutely the number one kind of life-changing treatment I got was the Botox, and Botox is not permanent either. It will wear off, so eventually I will have that movement back on my eyebrows, but it's been so nice to not have a single wrinkle, and I definitely have that smooth forehead that I was going for with Stacey, so that's amazing. I believe I only got 12 units for those who are curious, and it was a diluted form of Botox, so baby Botox, very minimal. It probably will last a couple months at most. So some more updates. This is kind of going to be like rapid fire updates for you guys because it's been a couple weeks since I have actually filmed the portion of the video that you guys just saw. So I did join Planet Fitness, and I harbor some guilt about that, about going into a public place during the coronavirus, but I had to outweigh the benefits for my mental health versus the benefits of staying home, and I am going to be very, very careful. I'm going to try not to bring anything home, obviously, to my loved ones, but I need the gym for my mental health, and I have come to that conclusion. I was doing great working out at home, but I need to step out of the house to do my workout for my mental health. That's what I need. I'm still gonna do the Pilates class on days that I'm not going to the gym. I'm not gonna go there every single day, but I did want to let you guys know that I made that decision for my mental health along with getting off of birth control. Those are two things that I'm going to be trying before we take the next steps if things don't get better, which would be therapy. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have my bedding behind me. I have to take it to my grandma's to wash it. Unfortunately, we still are going through some weird drought, and I don't have full capacity water at my house, so we're showering, we're doing dishes and all of that, but I don't want to do like huge loads of laundry until the well is full again. I talked about this a couple vlogs back, but our well ran dry, which is just ridiculous. Something to add to 2020. And yeah, what else is new? I have been trying to diet just a little bit more of like a lifestyle change than an actual diet. I'm adding more fruits and vegetables and real food to my diet. I'm not getting as many coffees from the drive-thru as I usually do. My cold brew recipe is in my previous vlog if you guys want to learn about that. I'm doing my protein cold brews, so I have the Premier protein, the black coffee, and just a little bit of creamer. So I'm doing that every day because I need coffee every day to function. But it's going to save me money and hopefully help me stay full and lose weight by not having those crazy sugary coffee drinks. Oh, okay, there was one big one that I wanted to mention because I was editing this vlog before I sat down to wrap it up. And I want you guys to know that unfortunately the camera that I'm filming on has all sorts of problems ever since I dropped it. And it has a skin smoothing feature. I think it's no secret that the A5100 has like a skin smoothing feature. It kind of makes you look like a little bit waxy, and I have it turned off, and it still kind of does that. And so unfortunately with some of the close-ups during my procedures, you could see my red spots, and then you couldn't see my red spots, and then you could see them again, and then you couldn't see them. It's really, really fucking annoying, and I hate it, but this camera will turn that feature on even if I don't want it to be on. So I am looking into, I think it's the G7 II or something. I don't know. I'm looking into another vlog camera, but for right now, this is what we're dealing with. So I do apologize. I am not ever trying to be shady or hide anything. I show my skin all the time on every platform. I am not ashamed. And of course, after microneedling, you are going to have redness. So I wasn't trying to cover that up or anything like that, but I noticed it while I was editing. I was like, why does this thing have to turn on and then turn off and turn on and turn off? It's so obnoxious. But I did want to mention that just so that you guys who did notice it know that I'm not trying to be like shady or weird. So yeah, that's going to be it for this vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to follow me along on this God knows what journey of my late 20s, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. We are going to tackle topics such as losing weight, being addicted to caffeine, taking care of our mental health, what it's like to be a beauty YouTuber living in the middle of nowhere. Then yeah, join me. I would love to have you. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to check out Stacey if you guys are interested in injectables. She's amazing. And head over to Syracuse Plastic Surgery if you guys are in upstate New York. I trust them. Make sure you do your research. If you're going to get any work done, you want to make sure that you're going to a professional who knows what they're doing. But thank you, Stacey. I love you, girl. And thank you guys for watching. And hopefully I will see you all in my next vlog. Bye, guys. Okay, ready? Is that a fire drill?
Yes.